Deep inside a cave called Gruta da Figueira Brava, nestled along the picturesque coastline of Portugal, a remarkable discovery was made. This cave, with its ancient walls and hidden chambers, has long been a site of interest for archaeologists. But what they found this time was truly astonishing. On the coast of Portugal, where the waves crash against the rugged cliffs and the salty breeze fills the air, lies this hidden gem of a cave. The Gruta da Figueira Brava is not just any cave, it holds secrets from a time long past. Archaeologists, with their keen eyes and meticulous methods, uncovered something truly extraordinary within its depths. They found artifacts that tell a story of survival, ingenuity, and adaptation. Among the ancient tools and remnants, they discovered proof that Neanderthals, our ancient relatives, were having a seafood dinner over 90,000 years ago. This wasn't just any meal, it was a carefully prepared feast, showcasing their culinary skills and knowledge of the sea. And it wasn't just any meal, it looked like they carefully cooked crab. The evidence suggests that these ancient humans knew how to cook and prepare seafood, a skill that requires both intelligence and experience. We often think of Neanderthals as only hunting big animals on land. Images of them chasing mammoths or bison come to mind. But this discovery paints a different picture. This discovery at Figueira Brava changes that. It challenges our previous notions and shows us that Neanderthals were more versatile than we ever imagined. It shows us that Neanderthals knew how to use the ocean for food. They weren't just land-based hunters, they were also skilled gatherers of the sea's bounty. The cave itself is important. Its location and structure provided a perfect shelter for these ancient people. The entrance, now a bit further from the shore, was once much closer to the sea. It's near Lisbon and it used to be much closer to the shore. This proximity to the ocean made it an ideal spot for Neanderthals to gather seafood and other marine resources. This means the Neanderthals who lived there could easily get shellfish like the brown crabs found in the cave. These crabs, abundant in the area, provided a reliable and nutritious food source. This surprise discovery has changed what scientists thought about how smart and adaptable Neanderthals were. It shows that they had a diverse diet and were capable of exploiting different environments for their survival. It's a story about archaeology, ancient environments, and how we're learning more about these fascinating humans who lived long ago. Each discovery adds a new piece to the puzzle, helping us understand the complexity and richness of Neanderthal life. Scientists didn't find leftover crab legs to prove Neanderthals ate crab. Instead, they had to rely on other types of evidence to piece together the story of these ancient humans' diets. Instead, they carefully looked at clues in the cave. They meticulously examined the cave floor, searching for any signs that could indicate the presence of crabs and their consumption by Neanderthals. Near the old fireplaces, they found lots of burned crab shells. These shells were not just scattered randomly, they were concentrated in specific areas, suggesting deliberate placement. These weren't just shells that washed into the cave, they were piled up where fires had been. This indicated that the crabs were likely brought into the cave by the Neanderthals themselves. Many shells had black burn marks. These marks were consistent with exposure to high heat, such as that from a fire used for cooking. These marks looked like they came from cooking, not from wildfires. The controlled nature of the burns suggested that the crabs were intentionally roasted. This made scientists think the crabs were roasted on purpose. The evidence pointed towards a deliberate act of cooking, rather than an accidental burning. Also, some shells had small cracks, like someone used a tool to open them and get the meat. These cracks were not random. They were consistent with the use of primitive tools. The fires, the cracked shells, and the large number of crab remains all pointed to one thing. Neanderthals had a taste for seafood. Neanderthals weren't just finding dead crabs, they were hunting, cooking, and enjoying a seafood meal. This discovery sheds light on the sophisticated behaviors and dietary practices of our ancient relatives, showing that they were more advanced than previously thought. The Figueira Brava discovery shows us how smart Neanderthals were in a few ways. This coastal site, located in Portugal, has provided a treasure trove of evidence that challenges our previous assumptions about Neanderthal intelligence and adaptability. First, it shows they understood their environment. The Neanderthals living here were not just surviving, they were thriving by making the most of their coastal surroundings. They knew when and where to find crabs, maybe using the tides or seasons to help them. This indicates a deep understanding of marine life cycles and the best times to harvest these resources. Second, it shows they knew how to use fire. Fire was not just a tool for warmth or protection, it was a crucial part of their daily lives. The burned crab shells show they didn't just use fire for warmth or light, they used it to cook food, making it safer and easier to eat. Cooking also likely improved the nutritional value of their meals, contributing to their overall health and well-being. Finally, it shows they could think and plan. The ability to strategize and prepare for future needs is a hallmark of advanced cognitive abilities. Catching and preparing crabs, even with simple tools, takes skill. This skill set would have required practice, teaching, and learning within their community. This discovery adds to the idea that Neanderthals were much smarter than we once thought, maybe as smart as early humans. Their ability to adapt to and exploit their environment, use fire for cooking and plan for the future, paints a picture of a highly intelligent and resourceful species. For a long time, people thought Neanderthals only hunted big animals in cold places. Figueira Brava proves this wrong. While they did hunt big animals, Neanderthals also ate many other things. Evidence shows they ate plants, seeds, nuts, and even small animals. In some areas they ate birds, turtles, and even seals, showing how resourceful they were. Early Homo sapiens, our direct ancestors, also ate a variety of foods depending on where they lived. While they ate some of the same things, the Figueira Brava findings suggest Neanderthals may have eaten seafood more often and earlier than we thought. Finding out that Neanderthals ate cooked crabs at Figueira Brava is more than just a cool story. It changes how we think about these ancient humans. For years people thought Neanderthals were simple and unintelligent, losing out to the smarter Homo sapiens. This discovery, and others, shows that this isn't true. The idea of Neanderthals catching and cooking seafood shows they were smart, adaptable, and had their own culture. It makes us realize that they were more like us than we thought, and that human evolution is a complicated story. The Figueira Brava discovery makes it even more interesting that Neanderthals disappeared. They were clearly smart and able to live in different environments. So, why did they die out? It wasn't because they weren't smart enough. Scientists think things like climate change, not enough food, and maybe even interbreeding with Homo sapiens played a role. Their extinction reminds us that even successful species can disappear. Figueira Brava also shows us how important coastlines were for early humans. Coasts offer lots of food, but you need special skills to get it. It's possible that early humans, both Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, who lived on the coast developed special skills and tools that helped them survive. Exploring more coastal archaeological sites could teach us more about how these environments shaped human history. The discovery of Neanderthals as seafood chefs makes us rethink the past and the future. By questioning what we think we know and looking at new evidence, we get a better understanding of human evolution. This knowledge isn't just about learning about the past, it helps us understand ourselves and our place in the world today. It reminds us that human history is full of surprises, and the more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. The image of Neanderthals cooking crabs over 90,000 years ago shows us how interesting and complicated human history is. This discovery at Figueira Brava is just one piece of the puzzle. As we continue to explore and learn, we can expect more amazing discoveries that will change what we think we know about what it means to be human. The Neanderthals, once thought of as simple cavemen, are now being seen as much more capable and complex than we ever imagined.